guys. Welcome to episode eight of the We Gonna Win the Week podcast. This week, as you can tell, there's only three of us, but not the usual suspects. We've got Tom, James, and unfortunately this week, we're not sure why, but we have an idea why.
Everyone knows why.
Dennis couldn't make it tonight, unfortunately. And on that note, Tom, can you do a fallen soldier start as we did with James last week? If we can take a moment.
Can we all take a minute's silence? Because Dennis been just pathetic tonight. He hasn't come tonight, and we can all guess the reason why. There we go. All right.
Yeah, but he's been a big bag, really, because when I don't come because I go swimming on a Monday, but he's not come deliberately because they lost 3 on the tour. That's a bit of a difference. I said I can't commit to every Monday. That's the difference I said from the start.
So for our regular 2 viewers who watch on YouTube, this week's format's going to be a little bit different because Dan isn't here and he normally does the editing for YouTube. So you'll only get our faces when we make a noise, but I'm sure all 2 of you will not be disappointed.
No.
So anyway, let's start with last weekend. Let's address the elephant in the room. Chelsea versus Liverpool. 3 games now on the bounce Liverpool have lost. 3rd game, obviously, being this last weekend, the Premier League. They lost midweek in the Champions League. And they lost last weekend as well. Lads, we haven't got Den's views, unfortunately. So you're going to have to tell us what do you think of that result and how excited are you as an Arsenal fan to be leading the race going into the international break?
Yeah, go on, then you start, Tom, because I've got to go and check on my humble pie that I made for dinner.
All right. Well, so it's obviously very...
I've got my thing on.
So it's obviously very...
Well, let's
I can't take this show seriously now.
No, let me just check how it's doing, because I thought it was going to burn from me. Let me just take it out, because it's got Den's humble pie on. So, yeah,
so this is what makes this podcast so much unique to other podcasts.
Yeah. Can you see?
Well, a little bit.
Can you see the Den on it?
We've got a regular Joker on.
It's an apple crumble. No, an apple pie. Sorry, not an apple crumble. Yeah, the crumbles next time when there's crumble. Sorry.
What does that say?
It's meant to say Den's humble pie, but it just says humble pie because the Den bits are kind of got.
And has the Den bit disappeared like he has?
Yeah. It's like Den on the podcast disappeared. You know, the next one's going to be a crumble when they crumble because they're not crumbled yet. It's only 3 defeats. And we got loads of apples here. So, how do you like them apples, Den? We got loads of So, anyway, let's carry on with the podcast because before we ruin it, I've got to take my apron off as well.
I love how he says before we ruin it.
Yeah.
Right. Me and you, we ruin it. Anyway, let's start with the Liverpool game. I'm assuming you 2 both watched it.
Yeah.
It was a Saturday night. Premier League match, and walk us through it, lads. Let's. I want to get your take on it from an Arsenal fan because unfortunately Dan can't defend himself. So
yeah. I mean, the first thing to say is that that is the most disappointing thing is that we can't have Den to sort of try and target and rip into because this is what the podcast is for. It's about us trying to rip into each other for our team's wins, losses, and everything else. So I must say that that Den has betrayed the pod tonight in that way. I mean, very exciting for me as an Arsenal fan that we're on top. That's great. I watched the game, the Chelsea Liverpool game, and I think, to be honest, Chelsea did deserve the win for sure. I think they played with a team that was far under their usual team, so they had quite a lot of players injured and off the bench. So I think to me, that should make a Liverpool fan even more sort of concerned, because they were playing a Chelsea squad that weren't at their best, far from it. I think it's kind of what we've been saying kind of all along about Wirtz isn't sort of just Liverpool is still trying to sort of sort out with all their sort of 2-3 new sort of big mega bucks signings coming in, just trying to sort of sort them out and like trying to get the sort of pattern right, but they clearly haven't, and I wouldn't be surprised if they lost the next few games as well, because they're not. I mean, I would have thought that after they lost against Crystal Palace, then they would have sort of tried to sort of sort it out, and I don't think they have. I mean, I think for me, I think especially the sort of second half and the last sort of 20 minutes, Chelsea were all over Liverpool, like all over them, and like it was just that was super surprising to see, like since how the Liverpool last year were sort of. It's just really kind of like a shocker to sort of see that. And that's it really for that game. That I've got to say, really, just.
What about the first goal? You not even mentioned the first goal, yeah.
Liverpool just like did not play well.
The first goal was a hell of a goal, though.
So walk us through the goals.
Like Caicedo, yeah. I mean, like that was a goal, yeah.
Well, I mean, that was the thing I noticed is that where Liverpool are suffering the most is their right back position, isn't it? Because they're almost doing what we did a year ago, where they keep putting a defensive midfielder in a right back position, don't they? And Salah obviously doesn't like to track back as much because he's not that type of player. And I think their right back's getting isolated a lot, isn't they?
Yeah, and what I picked up from that game is he's making too many changes in those. Clearly Liverpool are struggling defensively, and I feel like Frimpong was brought in to replace Arnold, and now, obviously, I'll be honest with you, I was aware of Frimpong before he came to Liverpool, but I wasn't quite. I just knew him as a right back, but apparently he isn't a right back. He's a right wing back, and he plays better in right midfield.
Right, yeah.
He started there against Galatasaray, sorry. And then this week, he played Bradley in the right back, left Frimpong on the bench, and then somehow Szoboszlai ended up in right back as well.
Yeah, Szoboszlai.
I feel like watching Liverpool this season, they started off with that winning mentality in the end of games, which, we've seen Manchester United do for many years. But it wasn't just, yes, they were winning games at the end of the match. You've been struggling in identity on the way they play. Obviously, they had a tragic loss over the summer of Jota. I'm not saying that was the
that is a bit of a blow. Well, it was a big blow, really.
Yeah, and I mean that can affect the team mentally, because obviously they've gone straight into the new season. Obviously, the police are going past now. I don't know if you can hear that.
He always reminded me of Trossard a bit. Obviously, the same type of player Jota like.
But this season, Liverpool have kind of, I don't know what they're doing. It's like they're experimenting at the beginning of the season. And they're experimenting to the point where the players, I don't know, I think Isak coming in as a big money player, and yes, it's exciting, but that's not what Liverpool do. Liverpool don't buy big money players.
And he's not really ready yet, is it? It's a bit like the Gyökeres situation.
I don't think they needed Isak. I think they needed to replace Diaz on the left wing. Diaz is a massive loss. I'm not saying Gakpo isn't very good, but he isn't a Diaz. He isn't.
No.
He has all.
No, because Diaz had pace, didn't he? He's a lot faster.
And closed down in the final third. Same with Nunes. Nunes wasn't a goal scorer, but he never stopped running.
No,
not just last season, but with Klopp closing teams down. This season, you can see Salah isn't at his best. Yes, he's getting older, but you can't rely on Salah to chase down goalkeepers and press it until the 90th minute. Ekitike, I feel sorry for him because I think he should be starting. He's nowhere near fit, and Gakpo knows nobody's going to take his place in that left wing.
Was the Ekitike still injured, though, or something?
I wasn't aware he was injured.
I thought he was injured. Didn't he get
I
injured?
don't think so.
I thought he got injured last game. I'm sure they said he got injured. That's why Isaac played. Was he even on the bench? Check whether he was on the
I
bench.
thought that he just didn't play games because he got that red card, so therefore he didn't play a few games, did he?
No, I thought they said he got injured. I'm sure it came up. He got injured.
Ekatike come on about the 70th minute.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Oh, right. Okay, then.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
sorry.
But Virts isn't having a good season, and I think that's just pressure. McAllister isn't having a great season. I just think Liverpool have got to come to the reality of having a great season. And unfortunately, he's got an obsession with Kirkes, playing Kirkes at left back when Roberts still got a job to do there. Unfortunately, this happens when when a team buys too many players, season in, you get tracks like this. And same for Arsenal fans, big enough to eat Eze straight away. It was Arteta's genius by gradually getting him into the game. Arsenal didn't lose any games, but they were excited, and Arsenal fans were a bit disappointed. But at the end of the day, going into the second international break of the season, Arsenal are leading the line.
I think on that note, though, I think the difference is that and this is what I said to James, when I'm watching the game, I think is the defense. We've got extra sort of players for defense, but essentially it's the same as sort of last year, or quite similar, and it's a very, very, very good defense, and so I think that's how we've managed to sort of do fairly well because we haven't let as many goals as you have. So I think what the difference is that you had a few more players in defense that. Trent left, and he was good for you, and
he was a mainly attacker.
But it just seems that in defense things are,
he was better going forward, weren't he, Trent?
The thing is, when Trent was in the team,
that's the difference between Arsenal and Liverpool. I think is the defenses. Yeah,
Trent gave Liverpool something more in midfield. He kind of played as an inverted right back. It's very similar to what Arsenal did with Zinchenko, Man City did with Lewis.
But we're actually doing that with Calafiori now, aren't we?
Playing that left. And obviously, it's Guardiola who started it. It's, Guardiola, most things Guardiola starts. He brought that kind of inverted right back or left back into
left back, yeah.
And I think Trent played that position very well, and that's why everyone's his Trent and midfielder is. Trent's also very good player who can, when he passes the ball forward, his defensive capabilities are something else.
Yeah.
But I think Konate misses Trent. I think Konate knew Trent, the way Trent works and the way Trent plays, and that's why Konate's having an absolute shock of the season.
Because he'd have to worry about that position, isn't he? He's have to
worry. He had a bit more. He knew where Trent was going to be, and now with Frimpong likes getting forward because also he's more of an attacking-minded right winger. Bradley is still a bit new in the team, as in I watch Bradley, and yes, he can be very capable. I also think he always looks like he doesn't want to make a mistake. But for Liverpool, I'd be very worried of their defence because Konate is now injured, Alisson's injured, their backup centre back Leone's injured. Yeah. The only centre back they have on the bench now is Gomez, and yes, Gomez is Liverpool's longest-serving player as a current player. He's had injuries. He can't get into the first team. He's basically a squad player.
Yeah.
But this is where I worry now. Liverpool are going to start experimenting by playing Robertson at left back, at centre back. I can guarantee it. Robertson will play at centre back.
Well, rather than play Gomez and Van Dijk.
No, he through the summer he played. This is why Liverpool knew they needed a centre back because he wanted to play Kirkes at left back, and then Robertson played left centre back instead of buying Gahey, who they messed around until the end of the transfer season.
Can't Gomez play with Van Dijk though? I thought they played together.
Gomez can play, but he isn't. Let's just say it out loud. He isn't a first team player.
No.
Liverpool got him as a backup squad player. He's very shaky on the ball. He's a player. Unfortunately, he had potential, but he's been injured. He can't get into the squad. You're going to be rusty. It's going to be like when Phil Jones played against Liverpool at the time.
Well, like when we had Kiwi on at the end of last season.
Yeah, you're playing a player who has got no match fitness.
No,
He's probably fit and he could do 90 minutes, but he's got no match fitness.
no.
I'd be worried for Liverpool, personally. But what I want to say, I don't want to take anything away from Chelsea. I mean, is this when a turning point for Chelsea this season, or is it just Liverpool were really shocking and Chelsea still got things to improve on?
I think Chelsea are going to be up and down again, to be honest. I think they're going to win a few, and then they'll have a match where they draw, and they just. I think Chelsea will just be back. I mean, I think Chelsea will be really strong once they get all their players back. But I do think that they probably raised their game for Liverpool, and they probably played that little bit harder than they normally play, and they ended up just about getting the result, because it could have easily been 1-1. Don't forget, couldn't it?
Yeah,
it was right near the end. Well, was it 93rd minute or something? So it could have been. And to be honest, I don't think, like what Tom was saying, I don't think Chelsea outplayed Liverpool that much. I do think Liverpool had their own sort of chances as well. But I don't think it was all one way, you know.
So you're saying it's not all one way, but one of the things I picked up for Liverpool is they don't seem to have a midfield control anymore either. So you could turn on and say the defence is having a bad time, but Chelsea were just going through the middle of Liverpool.
Yeah, but is that because they're playing Szoboszlai on the right back sometimes?
They were still playing Gravenberch, who's had a good season, who had a good end of last season, started well. McAllister, we all know how good McAllister is. Obviously, I didn't start at right back.
No.
He was in the middle. So to have those three players, something clearly, I don't know if it's a mentality thing, but Chelsea was just going through Liverpool's midfield.
But that was the midfield last season, wasn't it?
Yeah, so that's the thing. There's obviously something underlying. And yeah, you could say, like you say, they had a difficult summer. And mentality, you know, is your head in it. But
you could also say, has that midfield been figured out? Because sometimes after one season, the first season, like teams don't know what to expect, and they didn't know what to expect with Arne Slot. But then I remember, like the second season of Arteta and the third season, he had to kind of adapt, didn't he? Because he started to get figured out, you know, on what we've always played down the right hand side with Saka and Odegaard, and they start to figure out what you're doing. And then once you get figured out, you've then got to adapt and do something different, haven't you? So that could be part of it. It could have been figured out on what they're doing in the midfield.
Yeah, and that first goal by Chelsea as well was an absolute stunner as well. No goalkeeper saving that.
No.
I think the goalkeeper did get a touch on the ball, but what a rocket, Tom. I mean, that was quality, wasn't
it? It was an amazing goal, yeah. I can't really say much more than that, but yeah. I mean, what I said before, I still think that Chelsea had by far the better chances.
They did
far better than Liverpool, and so I think that's definitely what I'm sticking to.
Oh yeah, I'm not arguing that they didn't have the better chances. I'm just saying I don't think it was all one way to the point where they were all over it. I won't go miles over the top and say
it was close to being that. I think
they had a lot more clear-cut chances. Definitely.
Yeah, Chelsea had a lot more target shots on goal. I think shots similar, but on target, Chelsea did have a lot more chances. And that's with Liverpool. They come out strong into the second half, got a goal, but then near the end, it's like they're so concentrated on, and that's what shows you how good Klopp was. And again, Slot won the season last year. Let's not just put him out, but you can see against Crystal Palace, a couple of players wanted just to run forward rather than just protect that lead, their draw. And against Chelsea again, we let the goal in the final few minutes. I think there is an identity issue. Clearly, I don't think they realize. I think there's so much of a panic of. I think Arsenal are worrying Liverpool, and I think it's in their heads. I think Arsenal are in Liverpool's heads. I really do, and that's in the players' heads. Because it's like near the end of the match, they don't really know what to do. Some players are defending, and standing still. When I say standing still, I mean standing in that back line, trying to play the offside trap and trying to man-mark the man. But then you've got some of the midfield who doesn't really know whether to help the defence or try to start, trying to get a little bit further up the pitch to start a counter-attack. I just think it's really worrying. And this is where Den's opinion would have been good, because he kind of looks at it in a different way. Obviously.
Yeah. We lost you.
Yeah.
Yeah, obviously Dan's a fallen hero for this week.
Sorry, I lost you.
Unfortunately, at the end of that result, Liverpool are now 3 games winless. 3 games. They had a shocking match against Galatasaray, and I'll tell you what, Galatasaray played absolutely fantastic.
I didn't see that one. I still think, could it not be a case of being figured out, because they've only had 1 season with Arne Slot, and if they've figured out his tactics and that, it could be a mentality thing.
No, I don't know, because the reason I say that is
I don't think so.
You can't pick a right back, you can't pick a midfield trio, and you can't pick a striker.
No.
I'll tell you what, Gakpo having no competition. I'm not saying he's lazy. I don't want to say that because I know.
Oh yeah, I'll see what you mean. Because
he's got no competition. Very similar like Martinelli when he had no competition.
Yeah.
I saw it got injured. It just helps those players to kick on and realise you've got to fight for the spot. Salah.
The Szoboszlai thing reminds me of when we were putting Partey at right back, and I was getting so frustrated because we were costing ourselves games, and I thought we're putting a player that's really good in defensive midfield at right back. And I thought, why are we doing this? Because we're exposing ourselves in the midfield. And I think there's one particular game I remember mentioning to you last year, Tom, when they ran right through the middle. And I said that wouldn't have happened if Partey was there.
Yeah.
They just ran right through us, didn't
I can't remember who it was against, but yeah.
And he just ran right through the middle. And I'm like, why is he at right back?
Yeah.
It's madness. And that's what I think the Szoboszlai thing is just very similar.
And that's the thing. Canate is having a shocking season. He's had in Madrid. But when you know your right back isn't urgent, you don't know who's going to play with your right back. You've got a left back who is constantly after being substituted because he's always on a yellow card. Your midfield, you're not sure how to play with that midfield because one of those midfielders is sometimes at right back. Wirtz is not a midfield 3. He's more of an attacking-minded player who's struggling. So there's no cover there. Salah is literally on the byline every match because he's used to balls going over the top to be played. The players, I don't think it's tactics. I think players individually are not taking responsibility in playing a different way. Yes, players have got to play with tactic against tactics, but they've also got to. Salah's got to think, in a minute, I need to track back. I can't just stay on this byline no more. I haven't got Trent who's going to put the ball over me. I've got to track back a little bit. Wirtz, unfortunately, I think he needs a spell out of the team.
He's not playing very good at all.
I'm also not against playing him on the left wing because that might be something that works for him. I know Dan is against that, but I think sometimes, based on to Marino playing striker, why not try him on the left?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the poor lad's 20 years old. He's come in for a record fee, and he's just being hounded and they're literally just saying it's like trying to fit a triangle into a square shape. And Slot is trying, and the poor lad doesn't really, he's getting found out. Long story short, I think Liverpool after the break I think Isaac needs to run out of the team. I think Ekitike needs to start.
Yeah, but doesn't Isaac need playing time because he's not fit, is he?
He needs playing time, but he needs to come on. He needs to come on rather than being expected to start.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Unfortunately, if you're looking at both players, who's had the better start of the season?
Oh yeah, Ekitike's had a better start, but then Isaac's only had a couple of games, and he's not been fit because he weren't in training. Was it? It's a bit like the Gyökeres situation, isn't it? Really. So the only way you're going to get him fit is by playing him 90 minutes, 2-3 games on the trot. But then that's a risk. That's a risk because then you're dropping out Ekitike, and his confidence could go low.
Yeah, I totally agree, and I think that's why Slot gets paid the big bucks. He's got to sort this out, but I do think Slot's got to be very careful. He doesn't let his ego become.
What's going to happen if Liverpool don't win nothing this year? They're going to say, "Oh, it was all because it was Klopp's team." That's what's going to come out if it gets to the end of the season.
What I was going to think is that they are going to say that because Arsenal have spent a lot more money on signing.
No, I don't think they mention
Arsenal. They always say that.
No, I don't think they mention Arsenal. I think it's more likely to say that it was Klopp's team and he's Arne Slot and he's good. That's what they're more likely to say.
If anything, though, this team is a lot further away from Klopp's team than anything. Klopp would never have bought Isak. Klopp would have never bought Wirtz.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So they're going to say he won it with Klopp's team.
Oh, I see.
You see what I'm saying? That's what they're going to say.
But Craig, I think you're right about most of that. Basically, I agree with that. I personally think that they shouldn't have got Isak. I think that was a really weird. I get why they did it, but I think Ekitike, he came in and did really, really well, and he seemed to sort of be flourishing, and then they got Isak in, and then it's all sort of gone to a little bit pot. And another is, if you do look at Arsenal and the way that Arteta manages things, and each player is quite flexible, and they do switch around quite often. So you get the wings, they switch for that striker and back and forth, and so I do agree with what you're saying, is that it does seem like players are not willing to be flexible and change the switch. It does seem like there's a bit of inflexibility going on there. Yeah,
but hang on. A few weeks ago, if you wind back a few episodes, you were saying, "Oh, what a great signing Isak is! I'm really worried about Isak." That's what you were saying. Hang on, so you were saying
what I did. Well, yeah, but that's just because he is just like a world-class striker, and anyone would say that you are going to be.
But now you say they shouldn't have signed him, so make
concerned. But I did think from the start that actually they shouldn't have signed him, and he should have stayed at Newcastle, because they got Ekitike, and I thought that was all really kind of it was a mess, wasn't it? When Isak was stopping training and doing all that sort of stuff, Newcastle were getting really angry, and there was stuff behind the scenes and stuff we didn't know, and it just felt like a big mess.
I mean, it's very early.
It's early. You could start banging them in yet.
So yeah, true.
Only into the 7th. I think we've only played 7 games. But again, I think I remember on one of the episodes I said I don't know why Liverpool buying Isak. They needed a centre back. If there's one player they needed to improve, it was get Gahey. And
but did Gay say he didn't want to go? I don't know what happened with that.
No. The Crystal Palace manager had the final decision.
Yeah,
and Palace had a deal collapse, and he's actually come out and said this in a press conference. They said the chairman said, "Can you cope this season without Gahey?" And he turned around and said, "Honestly, no." And do you know what? Well done to him, because Crystal Palace are flying. Liverpool clearly arsed around getting that deal done.
Yeah, but if Gay really wanted to go, he could have done what Isak did and just said, "I'm not playing."
I don't think all players are like that, though.
Not all players are like that.
No. He was very publicised that Gay did it in a way that was respectful. He was a captain as well. He's doing it in a respectful way for Palace.
Yeah, he did it.
He obviously wanted to go. His wages would have been doubled. He would have been playing for the champions. Who knows? He would have. Liverpool scored let as many goals in with him at the back of Van Dijk. Konaté's had a poor season.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, well, you've let quite a few. I'm quite surprised, actually.
If there was another centre back on that bench, Konaté would not be in that team right now.
No, I'm quite surprised how many goals you've let in, actually, compared to last year, because I think you were one of the best defences in the league last year, weren't you?
Konaté's just been caught out. He at the end of the day, it's like he's laughing at Liverpool Football Club basically, saying you've literally got no one else to play. Because as bad as Konaté is, he's still better than Gomez. And that's how I don't want to say that's how bad Gomez is. Gomez unfortunately had injuries and he hasn't had a run in the team for a long time. If he had the chance, I think he would be a decent player. We had a very bright future. As it stands, Konaté is a lot more up to match fitness than Gomez is. Konaté's just having a terrible time. I think the long story short, Liverpool are struggling. I can't see a way out for Liverpool at this current time. I think they've got to go back to basics. I think they've got to probably strip it back, bring Robertson back in at left back. Hopefully, Konaté's back for the next match. I'd start Conor Bradley at right back. I really would. I think Frimpong is too attacking minded. I'd get Wirtz on left midfield. I really would. Get Gakpo out of the match, out of the team for a little bit. Mays fight his way back in. Szoboszlai behind Ekitike, and I think Liverpool will be in a. It would have more control. Currently, there is no control. Like I was saying, the defense can't rely on the midfield because the midfield sometimes playing at right back. You've got a young lad at left. It's like a domino effect everywhere you look, and and it's like Salah standing there saying, "Well, I don't want anything to do with this. Just pass me the ball." Unfortunately, Salah's been covered for a long time in other areas.
He's never had to do that tracking back as much.
No, and he's faced someone like Messi. Messi never trackled back. I'm not saying he's as good as Messi, but Messi always had players who would work with him. And this, unfortunately, Liverpool in a transition period where you've got a few injuries, got a few players not playing well, and you need your big players to own up and put a lot more of a shift in.
One of the things they highlighted on the goals was Salah not tracking back. They highlighted that on Match of the Day.
That's what I mean.
Highlighted that on Match of the Day. Both goals, they said he didn't track back on.
And before, he never needed to track back because he was like he was the player who'd be at the end when you counter-attacked. But you can't do that when the whole team is struggling. And
I think it was Rooney that highlighted. It was Shearer. They were highlighting Salah and saying he weren't getting back.
And they've got Manchester United next. I know it's home.
That's going to be a tough game, though, still.
At the end of the day, when Liverpool Man United play, it doesn't matter how bad United are or how bad Liverpool are. It literally comes down to who's got the bottle on the day. And if anything, Liverpool are very lucky it's at home because if this game was away, we've seen what Man United can do to Chelsea when they're up for it.
When they want to play, they play.
Yeah.
Well, I also can think back to last season where I think Man U they gave you some really tough games last season even. So it's like a derby.
The thing is what I didn't understand is when we got them on the first day of the season away at Old Trafford, and everyone was like. And then a few games after, when we beat them 1-0, we did struggle against them. They probably deserved a win. They hit the post and everything. But then everyone was like, oh, it's only Man United. They're not a good team anymore. But you're still going to them on the first game of the season at Old Trafford. And they hate Arsenal. Well, no, obviously not as much as Liverpool, but they do hate Arsenal. And to go to them away at Old Trafford, and we got lucky. We did roll their luck. They hit the post on there. But I remember everyone saying a few weeks ago, different people all saying, oh, Arsenal had an easy run the first few games, Man United and Leeds. And I thought our run's been pretty hard. Old Trafford.
We had Man City as well, didn't we?
Man City, Newcastle away, Liverpool away. So to be fair,
that's hard games,
I think on the first podcast I'd turn around saying, I'd be very gutted if I was Arsenal fan knowing I got Man United straight away.
Yeah, why? Because they don't like that.
United obviously weren't playing very well. They're obviously finding themselves. But when Arsenal and United play, it comes down to who's got the bottle on the day.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter about the last couple of games or it comes because that rivalry is so fierce.
It's a rivalry, isn't it? Yeah, to go Old Trafford away on the first day. And I know we got a bit lucky. It could have easily been a draw at the post of that. But at the same time, you think once we beat them, it's almost like that was it felt to me like that was the best they could play, and they came out on the wrong end of the result, and then they went on a bad run after that, didn't they? And I think had that result gone the other way and they had won or drawn, they might have been more confident in the next game or the next game. But they couldn't beat anyone after that for a while, could they? They had a few games before they got a win, didn't they? And I think that could have easily gone a different way. Had they won that game or drawn, they could have been the team that was sort of up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it's them fine margins. When Arteta says about fine margins, I think it is because Man United hit the post. They could have easily drawn or won that game, and we could be talking about a completely different start to the season.
Yeah. So obviously, I want to move on now to your
Arsenal West Ham.
I mean, bittersweet for Arsenal. Comfortable victory. West Ham didn't do a lot in the game. Again, Arsenal had that where Odegaard went off again. But Saka scores like he's 200. It's very, for Arsenal, unfortunately, they might be in a good row of games, but it just feels like there's always an injury or something that sets you back, maybe. But obviously, Arsenal comfortable, weren't they?
Well, we had Odegaard get injured, didn't we? And they reckon Rice had a bit of a knock, so they took him off. But Odegaard was the main one. I think Rice will be all right. But I think when you look back at that game, I think there's a few things that West Ham didn't seem to attack us at all. So I don't think they had any intention of winning the game. I think they just wanted to try and get a point. They didn't seem to have any ambition at all, did they, West Ham? And with a new manager, I know they've only had him a couple of games, but I'd have thought they'd have shown a bit more going forward than that, to be honest. I was quite surprised at how comfortable it was.
Yeah.
And we just never. I don't think Raya had nothing to do. He must have been freezing. he must have been standing there freezing cold, because I don't think he had nothing to do the whole game, and that was really disappointing. Because as I say, West Ham the last few seasons have beaten us, haven't they? So
I mean. You can give your opinion as well, Tom.
Yeah.
How do you feel like? I know it was only for 30 minutes in the first half, but Odegaard and Eze played together, something that Arsenal fans have been asking for, two creative players.
Yeah.
You only got 30 minutes.
Well, finally.
Yeah,
finally,
I mean,
he puts them both on.
What was it the right decision, or did you see? I mean, obviously they were very dominant, but how did you feel like two attacking players played on that pitch were?
I think it's great that he's done it. I think it's just unfortunate that OD basically took a forward and got injured. But I think that is the way to go in future games. I mean, once OD's back, then I think him and Eze should be there, because they can create chances for the front three. I think everyone's been hoping that would be the case from the day that Eze came on, really, joined Arsenal.
Who shone for you in that match? Who was? I mean, Saka obviously had a good game. Rice scored his first goal of the season, but he's had a cracking start of the season. I mean, who's Sean and who's Gyökeres? You know, he's doing good at holding up play, but is he doing enough?
Yeah, well, yeah.
As the main man, I mean, who's Sean and who still needs some improvement?
Yeah, so I think Gyökeres is the one that I still want to see us feeding more sort of service to. I said to James earlier on in the game, I said that this really is the game where he should be going out and scoring some goals to get his confidence up, because I even know actually that West Ham did beat us quite a few times in the past, and that was something that I thought was quite good to see us beating them this season, because they're the ones who sort of kind of stopped us from winning the season last season, because they beat us, and then that sort of screwed our sort of chances a little bit. So he's one that I do really want him to improve, or for the balls to go to him. But so he's good at holding up play, but it's either that they're not getting the balls to him, but he also sometimes is in a bit of a weird position when they send the balls in, or he's a bit too forward or a bit too back, and doesn't quite get to the ball. So there's something about the gelling of those front three in midfield that isn't quite right yet. Because I would have expected him to score at least one goal. Which, funnily enough, actually, when the penalty came along, both me and James thought that he was going to take it. But then I think because Saka was the captain and because it was his 100th game or 200th game or something like that, he basically sort of asked to take the pen and scored it, and that was good in the end. But so I think, Rice obviously did very, very well as a Saka, but I think the main one that I'd like to do a bit better is Gyökeres. Timber did really well as well, because he got forward and had a few chances to score, actually, I think. But Gyökeres is the one who mainly, I think, I'm hoping for a little bit of improvement but it might take time. Like it takes time. As in, that's just how it is, I think.
So what do you think, James? I mean, I'm not saying do you agree with Dennis, but Dennis for a long time has been saying that is not the way Arsenal play. They prefer to play from the wings. As tiresome as his argument can be, no disrespect for Dennis, but he's very, very dedicated in his way Arsenal wanted to play with Arteta. Is Gyökeres still got time to improve within that team, or has he got to find a way of working within that position, within the tactics that Arsenal play to get the best out of himself, or does Arteta need to transform the way they're playing to get more out of Gyökeres?
I just think he's going to be like for like with Havertz. Really, I think they're going to. I think he's going to be a very similar type player in the way that he's going to be very physical. He's probably a little. I'd imagine he's probably a little bit faster than Havertz, but the problem is he hasn't got to speed with the game yet. So I think since he's come from the Portuguese league, I think he isn't up to the speed of the Premier League. And you can and we keep saying it's like fitness. It's fitness. I don't think it is fitness. I think he's not up to the speed of that league yet. And whether he get up to the speed of that league or not, something else. But I think he will. I think it will come because I don't believe that Berto and Arteta would have made a mistake on him. And his record speaks for itself, doesn't it? With his winning, he won the award, didn't he? What's it called? The goal scoring award or whatever it's called
in Europe.
Yeah. In Europe, and I think he will get up to speed. Ballon d'Or, isn't it? Or is that?
No, he didn't win the Ballon d'Or. Dembele won the Ballon d'Or.
Yeah,
he won something to do. I think the highest goal scorer in Europe.
Highest goal scorer in Europe. That's it. Yeah, so I think he will get up to. I think he will get up to the pace of the Premier League. It's just taking time. So I'm not worried about Gyökeres because I think he's quite physical. I think he's holding the ball up and he's doing everything we need him to do, other than scoring goals at the moment. And I think at some point, and I think when Tom says he's either too far back or not close enough, or sometimes he's at the back post when he should be at the near post, I think that's just getting the speed with the game. I think he's not. It's like I think someone put a ball across. I think it was Trossard played it to. Who did he play it to? Oh, Rice. And Rice whipped the ball across low and hard. And Gyökeres just didn't quite get on the end of it. He slid in and he kind of missed it. And I think that will come. I think that's just the timing of and the different pace of the Premier League. Also, I think the best players for me, that particular game, and the last few games actually, the best two players of the season so far for Arsenal, I would say Timber and Declan Rice. I think they'd have been the best. And I was having a go at Declan Rice last year because he made a few mistakes. And then we got behind and then that was it and we'd lost the league. And I was really having a go at Declan Rice, but I think Declan Rice has been our best player this season. I think I got frustrated when he got that silly yellow card. And then a few weeks after he played the ball with someone and we let a goal in. And there was a few mistakes by Declan Rice last year. But I think he's kind of learnt from it. But he's everywhere. He covers every blade of grass, doesn't he? So I think Declan Rice and at the moment Timber are our best two players at the moment.
Yeah, and obviously somebody else who had a little bit of question marks over him at the start of the season was Trossard. A lot of people said if there's one player who probably does need ship moving on.
Yeah,
he seems to be Mr. Reliable at the moment.
I'm so pleased we didn't get rid of Trossard because I love Trossard. I think he's brilliant. He's like them outside of the footballs he plays down the line, and then Beckham. In fact, that was the point when he done it on the outside of his foot, played the ball down the line. Rice whips it in, and Gyökeres probably should have scored. And he's done that a few times. He does it with the outside of his foot, and sometimes he plays these balls from one side of the pitch to the other. And as I say, in a way, he's one of them sort of nippy players. Like you don't always expect him to play every game. You don't expect him to play 90 minutes every game. But at the moment, the last two games, he has been getting in front of Martinelli, hasn't he, on the left?
Yeah.
But the thing is, he's one of them players that you can always rely on, especially if he's not in the first team. If you bring him on the last 20 minutes, you think there could be a goal here from John. I'd still say to this point, because Gyökeres hasn't got to speed with it yet, I'd still say that Trossard is our most clean-cut finisher, Every time he shoots, you think something's going to happen. So I'd say he's our most clinical finisher, probably since Aubameyang. probably at the moment, because I don't think we've got a clear-cut finisher. Maybe Gyökeres will become that, but at the moment, every time Trossard's in front of goal, I always think it's more likely to go in. Even when he hits it, sometimes it hits someone and goes in, but at least he shoots. You see what I mean? So I'm so pleased we kept Trossard because, and it's making Martinelli and Eze, because if Eze does sometimes play on the left, whereas at the moment he's playing in the middle because Odegaard being injured and stuff. But I think it's making Martinelli a better player by having that competition.
Mm-hmm.
It's making him a better player.
And that's what I'm saying about Gakpo. Gakpo needs some competition.
Yeah.
Arsenal going to have this edge now. Again, still early days, still 31 games left, but Arsenal going to have this edge where they can have players who are ready to fight and want to be part of that team.
Mm.
I'm not saying Liverpool players won't do that, but when you've got less desire to fight to be in the team because you know you're going to start, I think that's where Arsenal have this little bit of an edge. And let's be honest, West Ham went up to, but I think that's credit to Arsenal being so dominant. I mean,
yeah,
the West Ham, I can't remember West Ham having a shot. I mean, I know they had a few. Did they have a shot on target? I remember they had a couple of shots.
No, I don't think they did. They had an egg over the pole in the first one.
Yeah, and I mean, regardless of how bad West Ham are, that is very, 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 very good from Arsenal to be able to dominate the game for 90 minutes with a Premier League team. Yes, who are not very good at the moment, but with a new manager, very good manager. You know, he's a proven.
Yeah, he's a really good manager, you know, isn't he?
Yeah, and he would have ruffled a few feathers. You know, I think Arsenal did very well. And
I think Nottingham Forest were mad.
Yeah, I think
to lose that manager.
I mean, you will do.
Yeah, I don't understand it.
Even the next Tottenham manager, so I can imagine you definitely think they're mad. But he was clearly a personal manager and chairman at the Yard. And again, ego probably gone the way. But the chairman to get rid of a manager who got them back into Europe. You know, playing good football. We sat here 7 weeks ago giving our predictions for the league, and a lot of us had Nottingham Forest creeping into that top 7, top 8 again. And then now it's a completely different team because, you know, managed to come in with only a few games to start the season, no pre-season. I think they're mad as well, regardless of what relationship you have with your manager. To sack them just after pre-season is.
Yeah, and then to go and get Postecoglou who ain't won a game. And he's in danger of getting a sack, isn't he?
Yeah. I mean, he hasn't won a game. 5 games lost, 2 games drawn, 7 games all in all.
We were singing "Are You Tottenham in Disguise" to Nottingham.
And for Arsenal, they've got their next game after the international break is against Fulham.
Yeah,
Cottage.
That'd be an hard game, that one.
An hard game, you know, in London as well. It'll be a very hard game, but it's not Man City. It's not. It's not Man United. If I was an Arsenal fan, I'd be bloody hoping that, you know, their defensive record going into that game stays the way it was against West Ham, because Fulham for the game. Fulham have had a good start of the season for my liking. Just the way, you know, that mentality of the way they play.
Oh yeah, they're a good team, isn't it? Haven't they got Jimenez at front there, haven't they?
Yeah, and obviously we had. I think I watched Fulham versus Brentford a few weeks ago, and that was a really good game. Funny enough. But Arsenal got Fulham, and Liverpool got Man United. 2 hard games for both teams, but I expect Arsenal to come out of that. The way Liverpool playing, I expect them to come out with at least a point. That's saying something. But obviously another team, Crystal Palace, they're fighting, you know, they're doing fantastic, but obviously Manchester City, a very poor Guardiola side, one of the poorest I think we've ever seen in the Premier League. Do they have a chance? I mean, they've got Everton in the next match. I mean, did any of us see the match against Brentford?
I didn't see that game, to be honest. I saw it as 1-0. Did Brentford have many chances? Because I never watched that game.
Did Rodri go off as well? I think Rodri.
Yeah, Rodri's injured. He's injured, apparently.
And that's a shame, because if there's, you know, Man City have Haaland, who's just incredible. Like, what a player. They've got Donnarumma, a world-class defender. You've got Diaz, a world-class midfielder. And then Rodri is that spine. And I think
He's like their holding midfielder, and he's a defensive midfielder.
Yeah, and I think the replacement to Rodri is Gonzalez, who, he's probably a reliable player, but he's no Rodri.
Well, they missed him last season, didn't they?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
They definitely missed him last season, Rodri, didn't they? So,
and I think for Man City, they're playing O'Reilly. I mean, fair play to Guardiola for bringing in youth, but they're playing O'Reilly as their left back. Oscar Bob as their main right winger.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is with the way Guardiola's kind of changed his mindset, but you look at Man City, you look at Guardiola, and I feel like there's a little bit of pressure been lifted off his shoulders if he isn't bothered. Isn't bothered, that's the wrong word to use, he's a winner, but why aren't they? Why aren't they being talked about? To win the league? Why is it Arsenal and Liverpool?
I think I wouldn't write him off. But now Rodri's got injured, I've got a bit more confidence that they're not going to pressure us as much, pressure Arsenal and Liverpool as much. Had Rodri stayed in that team, but I don't know what he's got injured with, because I know last time he got injured, it was Partey that injured him, wasn't it? Yeah. But who's actually injured him this time, and what's he got injured with? Because
I'm not quite sure.
Because it depends how long he's out for, doesn't it? Because that makes a difference. But
you look at Man City's bench, and we're talking about Liverpool going back to basics and playing players who actually do well. They got Ake on the bench. They got Chirky's on the bench. He's a very good player. Doku started on the bench. I mean, he's absolutely quality.
He's a really good player.
Kovacic, who he was fantastic last season. Bernardo Silva seems like he's got too much pressure on his hands being the new captain. Stones as well. It's just crazy. You look at that squad and you think, how is Oscar Bob and O'Reilly getting in front of, Ake and Buddy, Doku, and I feel like Guardiola has had his own personal issues, but I feel like he's lost the plot a little bit.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, it's hard to tell really what's going on.
No, we're not going to write him off, but
I won't write him off.
A little bit about the yo-yo. I mean, I think Brentford last season, or maybe a couple of seasons ago, you would expect Man City to bloody run them over. You'd expect Arsenal's performance with Man City.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I watch him now, and it's like Guardiola's he looks like a free man, like he's just not bothered anymore.
I think he's bothered. I just think that there's some sort of rebuilding thing going on at City, and I think he's trying to get it back to the way. The team's changed from when they won the treble quite a bit, hasn't it, to be honest. They've lost obviously they had De Bruyne still, didn't they, when they won the treble?
Yeah.
So I think the team's changed quite a lot, and he's had to fill in places that would normally be reliable positions, hasn't he? So I don't know. We'll have to see. So I know. I mean, Donnarumma's come in, and instead of obviously what they used to have was Edison, weren't it? So, but Donnarumma, can he play with his feet as quick as Edison? I don't really know. I've not really been watching, man.
I watched part of the match, and he did okay, but you could tell he wasn't as comfortable as Edison was, and I still think that's bizarre. However, the way Edison left, as if Guardiola just washed his hands off and so found another club.
But doesn't matter, isn't that what makes a good manager, when they're ruthless and they get rid of someone? Like, didn't they say that about Ferguson? He will just not. If he thinks they're finished, and he just gets rid of them. Yeah. So it could be. At some point, Pep. I mean, I would never have a bet this season on Man City not winning anything. They're always a threat, aren't they? Even if they don't win the league, they could be in the FA Cup final, or they could be in the League Cup final, or they could be in or they could be in the Champions League till the latter stages.
Yeah. Just quickly, Man United, they as much as we all just overlook them, they do get views. So if we mention their names, you're going to get maybe a couple of new viewers. But Sunderland had a very good start of the season. I think on my Super 6, I had Sunderland to win this game 2-1.
Oh, same, yeah.
Yeah, did you? So, I had a terrible start this weekend on Super 6. Obviously, it was two players who are kick-starting the season. They're on the score sheet, Mount and Sesko. Did you watch the game? Did any of you see any?
I know that Sesko scored his first goal, didn't he?
Yeah, Sesko scored
about that game. But
I saw the highlights.
Yeah.
I saw the highlights, too.
I mean, I one thing I did see, and I've seen very good highlights of it, is the new goalkeeper.
Yeah, he looked okay, didn't
He looked really good. He commanded his area as well.
Yeah, he looked all right to me. Yeah.
And
He made one mistake, didn't he, where he came out his area and collided, didn't he?
yeah, and again, that was his first game too.
Yeah.
And if I was Man United fan, I'd be taking the positives out of that.
Yeah.
How Mason Mount still going games, I'll never know. But
he scored, though, didn't he?
He scored. But it's very, again, Man United are very bizarre. It seems like they are yo-yoing, but they played Sunderland, the team that come up. So
yeah,
you would expect them to win, but Amaran is still playing with that 3-4-3, whatever formation it is.
See, had Sunderland been at home, I'd have thought Sunderland might get something, but because it was at Old Trafford, I didn't really expect Sunderland to get anything. To be honest, I thought that's a chance for Man United to get their confidence back up. That's what I thought about going.
So, gents, just quickly, I know we don't really, I don't really follow it, but England squad's been announced.
I actually was gonna phone
you mean the Arsenal?
See
squad,
if you, no, I.
It's all Arsenal players, isn't it?
That's why you're interested.
I actually was going to phone you guys up and see if you want to come around and watch it on Thursday night.
Is it Thursday night?
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny because the other day Tom told me he's going to watch a Leonardo DiCaprio film on Thursday night.
What are they?
He's got some changes quite quickly.
Sometime this week or like on the weekend, but you
And
can't
he's going
change a live game,
Thursday
can
night
you?
As well. He's got badminton. He's got a date on Thursday night.
Oh, have you? Okay. Yeah, okay. Jesus, he's got a busy Thursday.
Anyway, so I can chat about it later. But I am interested because I think that with Tuchel as that manager, I think that we've got, and each year we have gotten a bit better, a bit closer. So
do you know what? I was a massive fan of Southgate, and I'm not afraid to say I was a massive fan of Southgate. I have seen it. I don't really watch a lot of friendlies, but I've watched a couple of games. I don't see any improvement.
No, I don't at the moment.
If anything, I'll be honest with you, I feel like they've gone backwards a little bit.
I don't see any improvement, but the thing is, I haven't really watched enough England games lately to know fully. But he's a very defensive manager, isn't he, too?
Yeah, and I mean, at the end of the day, if he brings home a trophy, it doesn't really matter, does it?
Oh yeah.
No.
Balogun has been omitted from the squad. Foden's from the squad. Grealish didn't get called up. Anderson got another call up. And, when probably you're right. He is defensive manager. I didn't actually think about that. How can you admit these players? Don't know how bad. And do you know what I'm going to say? Teams throughout under 21s right through to the main squads, there is consistent players in the national team. Doesn't matter if they have a bad season. Form is temporary, but form is permanent. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Germany, Spain, France, they've had the same team going through, and they don't really change unless there's a player that breaks through. I think England, because they constantly chop and change. Why isn't Grealish going to start? And he's doing well. But
he's playing well, isn't he, Evan?
Yeah, and then you admit, then you recall Saka, who's had a tough time with his injuries and
I got to be honest. I'd rather Saka not play because I don't want to get him injured.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't really know where his focus is. Is he just bringing up? Is he doing a Svengo?
I'm a little bit worried. There's so many Arsenal players in that team. Like Zizé, there's Saka, there's Lewis Skelly. We've got quite a few players in that team. Rice. I don't want any of them getting injured, so I'd rather them not be in the England squad. To be honest, especially in a friendly against Wales, I don't want to get injured in a friendly against Wales.
Yeah, and I'm not a massive fan of the way the international friendlies and it's called the Nations League now, where it's called. But, it's just I'm looking at the squad now, and some players have deserved it, but
I think the reason why he's kept the same is because he wants to keep the same as what Payet did in the past few games. That's what I've heard and read about.
This is what
Tuchel sort of he wants to keep the same squad, and Bellingham Grealish and Foden weren't in those games, I think, and so he wants to keep that sort of tight knit sort of group, and so it builds that sort of chemistry and morale and confidence and that sort of thing. So that's why he's done it, I think.
Yeah, and you look at players like
who knows if it works, but
Bowen, Ollie Watkins.
we'll see.
It's a bit underwhelming, I'll be honest, but yeah.
We'll see anyway. Now, on another note, did anyone watch Arsenal women? Did you see Chloe Kelly's belter?
I didn't see, but I did see that I did see Chelsea lost, didn't they?
Yeah, Chelsea lost. Did Chelsea lose? I don't know, actually. Did they lose Chelsea? I didn't know that. Anyway, Arsenal were playing Man City, and we lost 3-2. But Chloe Kelly scored a belter, and she should have been playing from the start, but they brought her on, which is frustrating. That's why we ended up losing, probably. But she scored as soon as she came on, they looked a different team.
So did Arsenal win then?
No, we lost 3-2.
And where does that leave Arsenal?
I don't know, about 5th, I think. They're not going to win I thought they were going to win the league this year, Arsenal.
Arsenal were 5th now, yeah.
Yeah, about 5th. Yeah.
Arsenal women, yeah.
Yeah, it's frustrating because they had a really good team this year, and I thought Renee Sledger or whatever, Sledger, is that her name? I thought she was doing a really good job because she just won them the Champions League. But I think I'm just surprised at the team she picked, to be honest. I was a bit surprised that Chloe Kelly didn't get in the starting lineup, to be honest.
Sorry, Chelsea drew. I did see something come up on my notification. Chelsea drew.
See, how often do Chelsea drop points in the women's
Well, that was the first draw this season.
Exactly. So that's a game we needed to win.
They let 3 goals in as well. They got a goal difference of 8. The Liverpool and West Ham are really they haven't got
near the bottom
points.
Yeah.
And I think didn't Arsenal's team buy one of Liverpool's players this season?
Yeah, Smith.
Yeah, and I remember going to the Liverpool-Arsenal game with you two. And I remember the poor lad behind me, that was all he ever shouted, Smith.
She's really good player.
We love you, Smith. We love you. And when she left, I did to myself, poor bloody guy. He's probably heartbroken because he loved that's all he did all match. Fair play to him. But I do worry about his well.
Probably the only player he knew. The first game he's been, and he thought, I only know Smith, I'll just keep shouting Smith. There's bound to be a Smith in the team.
Yeah.
He used to be the most common name, didn't he, in England, Smith? Most common. There's bound to be a Smith in the team. I'll just keep shouting Smith.
John Smith. It'll be good.
Now the most common name is Mohammed. So apparently in England,
Me and Tom just stared at each other.
No, it's true. Look it up on Google. No.
Anyway, if you ever want to bring up anything about the women's football, that's perfect. I mean, I'm all for it.
Oh dear.
I struggle to watch men's football sometimes, so I'm not against it. But yeah, that's it. Smith did play for Arsenal. Olivia Smith.
Well,
she actually got substituted for Kelly.
Kelly, yeah.
So,
but the thing is, it's not that I didn't want Smith to play. It's more that I think Kelly and Smith should play, and they should have probably put Smith in the middle behind Russo as an attacking midfielder.
Yeah,
because they had Kim Little, they had Palova, and even though I really like Palova, I think they should have sacrificed Palova and put Smith just behind Russo.
Okay.
And yeah. And then Mead came on as well, but she's getting on a bit now.
Okay. I've got a little thing about Lille played PSG at Lille's home ground in Lille, and it actually was a 1-1 draw in the end, but it was quite a fascinating game to watch. PSG scored a free kick, a fantastic free kick. It was Mendes who scored from the right area in the pitch and left-footed and hit it right in the top right sort of corner of the goal. And then Ethan Mbappe, who is killing Mbappe's younger brother, came on at the 80th or 70th minute and came and scored for Lille.
Yeah,
They like drew the game. I mean, like that was fantastic.
It was
It's
fantastic to
great
see
because
people-
like Mbappe, like they were both sort of trained up at PSG, and so like Ethan and Killian left PSG to like different teams, obviously, and it's great that Ethan helped Lille to score because Lille lost their main striker David left last season, and so that's left a bit of a hole. I mean, Giroud's come in and to sort of fill that position.
How's Giroud doing?
Which like he actually has scored quite a few goals, but
he must have a
he's
walking
not as
stick,
good
does he?
as David.
He must have a
I mean,
walking
he is
stick.
getting on a bit, but he still looks pretty impressive though. I mean, like he's still doing well and still scoring the scorpion kicks.
Maybe we should have gone for him instead of Gyökeres, then.
Oh, it was good to see Ethan Mbappe score that goal because
yeah,
his brother was in the crowd and
yeah,
because it's similar to Joe Bellingham for
great, yeah,
when you're in your brother's shadow at sort of an early age.
yeah,
It must be hard, and
yeah.
mentality is a big thing where you get you leave PSG, your brother's in Madrid living it up, and to get a goal like that, to put him in the papers a little bit, just give it, I think it was good to see, and having his brother in the crowd as well was good. But he was a fantastic free kick.
Both his brother and dad were in the crowd as well. I think his dad was there as well.
Yeah. But PSG's goal was quality. I saw that in there. It was just a nice moment for Lille as well. And God save Giroud.
Hopefully, yeah. And like another interesting thing that I saw was that our goalkeeper has actually gone to PSG. So that's made me a bit annoyed because our goalkeeper was really, really good. I mean, my new one's called Oza, and he's done all right actually. But Chevalier was our goalkeeper, and that that in English means knight, and so that's also pretty cool. They're like, he's your knight in the goalkeeper. Like he will save just like everything. So
it sounds like you're just a little feeding club, Tom. A little feed, feeding other teams you play.
He's a Southampton.
Well, they are famous for that actually. Yeah, so like that's quite funny. But like they are actually known for Hazard came from Lille and then went to Chelsea. I think Wingy went to somewhere else, and we train up players, and then the big boys just come in and just steal them off.
And I mean, it's some testament to that goalkeeper being making Donnarumma leave, not making Donnarumma leave, but PSG really wanted that, net to say to Donnarumma.
Yeah. I mean,
he's only 26, so shows you how good of a goalkeeper. Yes, for Lille.
I've got to get my humble pie for Dennis in a minute, and also I've got some custard that needs custard pie because he's a bit of a clown. He's a bit of a clown, Dennis, and he's not turning on. I was thinking before we go, can we get a little picture of Dennis with his? Can we get a picture up of him in his with his little dummy? Because he's a big baby. So can have a little picture up with Dennis.
An AI photo.
Yeah, an AI photo. That do. Yeah, we get a picture of Dennis. Put a little picture up for the TikTok because that'd be quite good.
What I will say is, have you got any last words for Dennis? Because he can't make it, and I'm sure he would have loved to be here today.
He said he's going out. I think he's got a bottle of hot milk. He's sucking on a bottle.
So I have 5 words for Dennis.
Come on.
Arsenal are coming for you.
I was a bit worried what the last 2 words were.
How are we coming for them? We're top of the league, mate. They've got to come for us.
We're gonna win the league.